All right, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to be briefly updating you on the CDC moratorium on evictions. They actually did extend it to June 30th. They made that announcement March 31st. So if we take a look at the computer, I wanted to just go over some things that have changed. Everything has changed for the better. So we look at the computer here. We see we're on the CDC website, cdc.gov. Whenever you're looking up anything online, never take a YouTuber's word as gospel, okay? Always double check and verify what the YouTuber is telling you, including myself. That is why in my videos, I like to take you guys and show you the URLs that I'm at so you can see that this information is coming directly from the source, okay? Just because somebody has on a suit and they're all polished doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. I see a lot of people over here who look the part but don't, and that's really actually they don't look the part. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. Anyway, so this is the cdc.gov. Just always make sure you're at the actual source. So we see here it just talks about a temporary halt in residential evictions to prevent the further spread of COVID-19. And then down here, if you go to more information, we have all of the information here. You can read the order, which is right here. Right here, I'm sorry. Which can be seen here. And this is the order. And if we do a quick search for the word June, you see the order is extended through June 30th, 2021. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, you need to have a form that you have to fill out. You have to opt into these protections, okay? Which is hurting a lot of people because people are still getting evicted because they don't know about these protections that are in place. And here's the form, okay? They've updated the form to have the correct date, June 30th. The last time when it was extended from January to March, people just used the old January form. But this one is a lot more comprehensive because on the first page, let's go through it together. We see number one, it says, do I qualify? And you can go through the column. I received the stimulus check. If you did, you would just check that, and you can do it all on the computer. Now, you have to qualify. You have to have something from both column A and column B. All right, one of each from column A and column B. So if you got a stimulus check, you can stop now on column A and go over to column B. And then you have to answer this question. I cannot pay a full rent or make a full housing payment because one of these things, my household income has gone down substantially. I have been laid off from work. My work hours or wages have been cut, or I have extraordinary out-of-pocket medical expenses. Now, here's the thing about this. I know some people, like, let's use my niece, for example, who worked at like a fast food place, right? She got laid off. I'm actually making this up, but let me just use my niece though. She worked in a fast food place. She got laid off, but now she's getting unemployment, right? Her unemployment actually pays her more than what she was getting at the fast food place, which a lot of people are angry about, but it really should be, their anger is misplaced. Why are you mad at the fast food employee? You should be mad at the fast food company for paying such crummy wages that our little extra tax dollars pay her more to live than the whole job. Okay, anyway, so she's actually making more, but so she wouldn't qualify for the first thing that says my household income has gone down substantially, but she would still qualify for this tick here. I've been laid off from work. Okay, so be very literal when you are filling out these things because she might be thinking, oh, I can't do that. I don't have these protections because I make more now from my job than I did before. And she might just think that she doesn't qualify, but she does. She just needs to take this stuff very literal, okay? Whenever you're dealing with the law, always take it very literal. There is the spirit of the law, and then there's, the letter of the law. Just the letter of the law is usually cruel, but so you always want to go with that. So this is the letter. I've been laid off from work. I might have won the lottery yesterday for $200 million, but I got laid off and I still qualify. But I don't recommend, if you are making money to pay your rent because you still owe it. And it's just going to get backed up and have all these penalties. So if you can afford it, pay something. All right, so moving on. If you qualify for something from column A and don't qualify for anything from column B, and you have none of the above, you do not qualify. So we're going to move on down here. Number 2, my declaration that I qualify. And then you just go through these. My income level qualifies for the reasons explained above. I've done my best to make timely partial payments that are as close as possible to the full payment and to get government assistance in making my rent or housing payments. And like I showed you in the previous video, I'm not going to go through it in this one. You could just click the box up top right now to go look at that video so that you can see the websites I recommend. I will leave links to them, but you can go to websites to look for any assistance. And also here, right over here, we see troubleshooting tools for tenants. You can find emergency rental financial assistance by calling this number. And over here, they just have a complaint line if you are having issues with your management company. But if we go down some more, if I were evicted, I have no other available housing options. So I would, one, probably become homeless, or have to move to a homeless shelter, or have to move in with others who live in close quarters. Now, here's the thing. Let's say, for example, like I became homeless a couple of years ago, and we had to live with my mom, but it was in close quarters because she didn't have enough room. So that would still qualify, okay? So, if everyone doesn't have their own room and their own space, then that's considered close quarters. And for number 2, you have to be able to check off all of these. So you said my income level qualifies. I've done my best to make the payments. If I were evicted, yeah, that would happen. And I understand that after I sign, unless I come to an agreement with my landlord, I'm still responsible for rent, back rent, and any fees, penalties, or interest under my lease. That I must still follow the conditions of my lease. Unless I come to an agreement with my landlord, if I fail to make my required payments, I could be evicted when this temporary halt of evictions ends. And I could still be evicted for reasons other than not paying rent or not making a housing payment. So, for example, it's part of your lease to maintain the property. If you're not maintaining the property, you can still be evicted. And the reason why I'm saying unless I come to an agreement, because your landlord, and this is worth, trying to work it out with them, they could reduce your payments, or they could say, well, don't worry about the penalties or whatever. This is why it's always nice to treat people well, because I remember about 12 years ago, I had the same issue. I was in a relationship with somebody who just spent all the money. I mean, if we made $100 that day, she had to spend 90 of it. Like, she would always, and this is not a joke, she would spend 90% of the income. If we made $100,000 that week, she would spend $90,000, and then on nothing. Like, you have nothing to show. This is like real talk. She spent 40 grand in 3 months on just food, or just eating out. But anyway, my point is, we were renting out this nice house in Atlanta, and the money, I just saw the writing was on the wall, so I moved out and I broke the lease. But I was always really nice with my landlord, and when it came time, to move out, we did the walkthrough. He was like, "Man, nobody has ever treated my house this nice." He was there. I was still cleaning up the bathroom, and we were just talking. And it was funny. We both tried to hand each other a check at the same time. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm giving you the last month's rent." He's like, "Man, don't worry about that. Keep that, and I'm giving you your deposit back because, you were so good to me as a tenant." And so anyway, I say all that to say, treat people well, man. People will work things out. You never know their financial situation. They could be super duper straight. You never know. And they might be tight, but they could still do something for you. So be nice. And then you sign this, and then you give this signed page to the individual or company you rent from. Now, I like this version over the last version that I had in the old video, and I'm going to go change the link to that one because this form actually is a little more scary to landlords, because we see this: attention landlords, thank you for your compliance. If you violate the CDC's eviction order, you and or your business may be subject to criminal penalties, including fines and a term of imprisonment. I kind of don't want to play no games now, and I'll just take this thing. But me personally, I would still hand it to them, and I would still send them another one certified mail, just so they can't ever be like, I never did get that, okay? So With that said, did I cover everything? I think we're good. Just know it's been extended to June 30th, and you have to opt in by filling out this form and giving it to your management company, landlord, or whatever. If you have any issues, they do have complaint lines over here. You can report discrimination, and let it be like legit discrimination. Report report problems with debt collection. You can submit a complaint here, and if you need help with financial assistance, you can call this number. And for the landlords watching this, I do want to address this real quick. Go visit my last video, because in that video I also talked about how there is money not just for renters but also for landlords. But generally the money for landlords runs out quick. But hey, if the money runs out for you and there's no assistance in your city or in your state, still help your renters get the rental assistance. Like, I think it's legit enough money for every renter in the United States to be able to meet their payments. So if you help them, they can help you by paying the rent. So this is not a, one against the other type deal. Help each other get that money so that everybody can be well taken care of. All right. So with that said, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.